So Out Magazine, which excuse me, Out Magazine, which you probably don't know, but you're gonna know now. It's a magazine, and it's as implied by their name. They emphasize some stuff regarding the LGBTQ community. And one of the spots that increased where Trump was able to gain ground among, though as much as it hurts their narrative, he made and got more support, according to the exit polls, from members of the LGBTQ plus community. He also made strides in other areas where he actually lost, believe it or not, though they blame white men on everything, but where he actually lost support, which possibly maybe lost an election, I don't know. But where he actually lost support were white men. They say 61% of voters polled who identify as LGBTQ plus community say they voted for Biden, according to an exit poll done by blah, blah, blah. This is a lower percentage of the LGBTQ plus voters than supported Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And they say Democratic nominee, while 28% voted for Trump. So 28% is higher than Trump got in 2016 and higher than Mitt Romney or John McCain received. Yes, because those guys are the beacon of respect. They love John McCain now. These numbers are in sharp contrast to the non-LGBTQ plus respondents who voted 51% for Biden and 47% Trump. So their confusion and what the title of by the way, for those of you that missed it, and as far as what was posted on Twitter by Out Magazine, in the caption, it says, "This increase in LGBTQ plus support for Trump is frightening to see." See, it's much like some of the other marginalized, I hate that term, but I'm gonna use it, groups, in which they feel as if Democrats are owed their support, and they own that particular side of the aisle. They have for a long period of time. But Trump was one of the first. No, he wasn't the first. He probably was the first guy that came in like pro the gay marriage thing. Barack Obama didn't, or anything like that. I know he had appointed gay guys within his cabinet and what have you. And the reason why they find that so confusing is because they have to try to paint him as what they have done Republicans in the past. He's racist. He's homophobic. He's transphobic. He's all of these phobics and phobias, right? So it's utterly confusing that the idea that people among that community said, not going to support Joe Biden. Not going to support Joe Biden. Not going to do it. Right? And I don't think anybody, no matter where you're at, what race you are, anything, I'm not going to say that your vote, or rather your, how can I put this? I would never say that your authenticity is based or predicated upon how you vote, right? I would never make such a suggestion, though. So many people, particularly among the left, do that, right? If you're black, you can't support this person. If you're white, if you're gay, you need to support this person over that person. But the reason why they don't like that is because, again, it gives them a narrative that they can't. They'll still try to use it. You've seen them use it, right? You see them still go like, oh, well, he's a racist, he's a homophobic, he's all that. He gains all of these grounds, because a lot of people are starting to see through this. And this is why I talked about, yes, the Republicans are in trouble, but I think Republicans are in trouble going into the future because of their own doing. I did an entire video dedicated to this. Democrats, though, have their own problem in that you're seeing Latino voters, you're seeing black voters, you're seeing, if that trend continues, they may run into an issue there. And I don't think the rhetoric is as effective as it's always been, in that, okay, you are among this minority community, and therefore you are expected, and you should be expected, to vote in this particular way. That's not necessarily anything that's worked for them in the past, but you're seeing with Trump, he kind of put a dent in it, no matter how you feel about him. So they have to make an adjustment going into the future, or they risk that becoming greater in numbers. Now, like I said, Democrats have done everything they can to try to lose. Republicans have done everything they can to try to lose. So it's one of those, like, one has to beat the other to the punch. And generally the left has end up beating them to the punch, and they wake up and smell the coffee. But if that trend speaks to anything, it speaks to that a lot of people are going less based off of the rhetoric that's been fed to them in the previous generations for a while now. But it does show how people that generally are among even that community, there's an expectation there. And that's why they can say that they're frightened at the event or in the idea that someone could be among their particular community and does not vote the way that they expect or anticipate them rather to vote, purely because of their sexuality in this regards, which is utterly insane. To tie again that to your sexuality or race or gender or whatever it is to me one of the most boneheaded things. But it does show how that particular side views you. It's never been about you being an individual, and this is why I would say that they are so dangerous. They always seem to be at every turn undermining the individual, in which they don't see you as a person. They see you as a statistic, and be based on your particular makeup, you are required, or rather you should feel obligated to support this person or that person, this cause or that cause. And if you don't, it freaks them out, because, well, what else do they, like, how could you do that? You're a gay person. How could you possibly not support Joe Biden? How could you not do that? So through their own heads, they're going through this sort of crisis. And this is why they say that it's frightening of all terms to use. They're scared at the idea that someone does not vote like they expect them to vote and are among their community, whether it be racial makeup, sexuality makeup. And that's a problem. And I would hope, and unfortunately I know it does, but I hope that people start to continue to wake up. And I'm not telling you go to vote for Republicans. I never tell you to do that stupid shit. What I'm telling you is, don't allow these people to guilt trip you into supporting someone that you know is problematic, the term that they like to use. It's not worth it. It's not. So be an individual and don't feel like, oh, well, I'm this kind of person, I gotta support these folks. No, you don't.